All right, everybody. This is bigz, and I just want to say that I am filing this podcast under protest. Um, I am I'm on this podcast out of protest. The NFL is garbage. The officials are garbage. There's no reason why that game should have ended the way that it ended. This is under protest. All right.
All right. Well,
better.
there you have it, guys. What a game. It ended in anticlimactic situation, a face mask call that should not have been uncalled. So,
You can't unring a bell, God damn it.
Yeah. You can't unring a bell. And now the Vikings lose 2 in a row at home. Not a great situation now. The Sam Darnold truthers are probably piping up here. So, what's the situation here?
The situation are the NFL refs are garbage, but I don't expect any pushback from a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Why?
You know why.
Chiefs fans reunite here. I don't know what bigz is talking about, but we may get a call or two, just like any other team. But that face mask call was blown. The Vikings should have had an opportunity to get out of the red zone there. Such a travesty to fantasy football at this point, because we could have had some overtime potentially and more points scored, maybe a Justin Jefferson touchdown. Bigz.
Yeah, that'd have been nice, and then that would have carried my underdog play.
Yeah, and the unsung hero of the game, we got Demarcus Robinson coming in and scoring 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp scoring a touchdown, and Puka Nacua having a big game in the air with over 100 yards receiving on the night. It turned into a Rams game that they needed. The Rams needed in a division that has got a lot of competition, that is fizzling out a little bit, with the 49ers being a little banged up and the up and down Seahawks. So Stafford having his wide receivers back, it did change the game. Absolutely.
Big time.
Yeah. And
you can tell the way the offense was designed, the play calling, like everything was just so in sync again. Like it just looked right,
I had Justin Jefferson with the touchdown, and I had Matthew Stafford with 34.5 passing attempts. Guess how many passing attempts Matthew Stafford had?
32.
34. That Matthew Stafford, half a pass attempt is what kept me out of the money. Now I'm just waiting on the freaking Kings Timberwolves to win my money back. This night is horse shit.
It starts off, and that's why Thursday night games are always so tough to predict. And then we get this bombshell, because not many of us predicted Puka Nacua would be back tonight. And he made his impact early. He made his impact often. Schultzy was talking about a 60-yard touchdown that I don't know where that came from, buddy, but Puka Nacua comes back. Now, where do you see this Rams offense moving forward here? Because
don't mean to hijack, but that was the other thing. I made my play, and it was pro Cooper Kupp, and that was before Puka Nacua was announced in the game. So he came up a couple receptions short of my over. I hate football.
All right. Somebody is not happy right now, and let's get these. Let's get this show going with a little bit more optimism here, bigz.
Road on the show.
Let's get this road on the show. Let's talk some start and sit questions. If I were Jordan Addison,
wait, can we talk about Melissa Stark real quick?
Let's do it.
I don't like those boots, girlfriend. Go ahead and throw those off and put on some heels. The skirt and or the dress and stockings are fine, Let's get some different footwear. Those boots are stupid. Okay, sorry.
All right, we got Brent back as he comes in every week. He regrets not coming in for breakfast as Biggs this weekend, but he's got a start and sit question for you this week, Biggs. I have to drop someone this week for a quarterback because Jaden is out. Would you rather drop Judy, Bateman, or Goddard?
Yes.
Judy.
Judy, okay. I'm going to say Goddard. That would be my guess.
I'm going to say Bateman.
I don't think it matters.
I exactly. I don't think it matters. Although Goddard has had the more positional upside, I'm not high on Judy, especially in the first game that he had an opportunity without Amari Cooper to jump in and do something special. He gets out targeted. Yeah, no, listen to me, Brent. The first game that Judy had an opportunity to jump in and do something special with Amari Cooper being gone, what happened? Cedric Tillman led the team in targets and yards and all that stuff. On top of that, Elijah Moore is there. And then you have the addition of a brand new quarterback who hasn't played with them at all. I like Judy the least. Rashad Bateman, don't like him at all, but he has had a couple of okay games. And Dallas Goedert has had top 10 tight end finishes this year. So as far as positional scarcity, you got to stick with Goddard. At some point, he should be back and in full health and in like doing well in that offense. Bateman, his receiving upside has been like on the cusp for 4 years. Jerry Jeudy has had every opportunity and has just disappeared everywhere along the way. So.
No, I gotta go with for me.
Yeah, I'm cutting Judy.
I'll probably cut Judy first, followed by Goddard, and then Bateman would be my last cut, actually, with the upside of how high flying that offense is. And he's been a target. He's had 3 solid games in a row. Goddard is a guy that I could probably drop and get him on the waiver wire down the line with AJ Brown back and Devonta Smith. He is not a huge target in an offense that is more run heavy at this stage of the game. So, Goddard was a great fill-in when AJ Brown was out. And if AJ Brown misses more time, then I would be well on the way of picking up Goddard again. Hunt or Mason, half PPR. I love this one.
Give me Mason.
Biggs, who do you got in this one?
Hunt.
Both are very good matchups as well. I'm going to go with Hunt. But I do like.
Of course you are. You Chiefs fan. Chiefs chiefdom. Whatever. Okay, I'm changing my answer. I'm going with Jordan Mason.
Don't you mean refdom?
Yeah, refdom.
Oh,
got him.
You got me. Okay, so if you guys double your team wins, you're still 30% to the Chiefs' victories this year.
Exactly.
So chew on that one. Chew on it.
Exactly.
You know what? We don't pretend like our teams are good.
Neither.
That's true too.
Neither do I. I just know my team is good. That's the difference.
They're not good. They
Can't
just
even
are
argue with
undefeated. There's the difference.
I love it. What's up, Amber?
Hey guys. Hey Amber.
Yeah.
Hey, I talked about you earlier.
Yes. Okay. Let's get some more start and shape questions up here, folks.
We need them from the people.
We're here for the people.
We're here for the people. Okay, let's talk about maybe a wide receiver, George Pickens. He's been the talk of the week in Steeler Nation.
Talk of the town.
He's been the talk of the town, and we had him pegged, both Biggs and I, as a top 12 wide receiver headed in this year, and I think that might start coming to fruition. Biggs, talk about your boy, George Pickens.
Well, his name is George. His last name is Pickens, and he went to the University of Georgia. He's from Alabama, and he wears number 14 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Perfect.
And one time he stared at the TV while he was wearing that, that weird.
That's my favorite picture of all time.
Yeah. Now he's a meme.
Okay, so
Amazing.
at quarterback, my waiver wire options are Russ, Lawrence, Rodgers, Tua, and A-Rich.
Congratulations, Brent Bradford.
So are we looking at just this week, Brent, as a streamer or a long-term option here?
I thought he was just bragging.
He says, "Who would you roll with this week?"
Oh, I didn't see that. It's not on the screen.
Waiver wire options. Okay, so yes.
Got it. Okay.
Not Rodgers.
Let's go with.
I can tell you that.
No.
I'm gonna look at fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks. Who's playing the Jaguars?
The Packers.
Who's playing the Jaguars? Okay, who's playing the Buccaneers?
The Falcons.
You guys. Who's playing the Ravens?
The Browns.
I'm gonna have to go with Tua this week
Who's
on
playing
this
the
one.
Panthers?
To me,
I like Tua a lot.
yeah, I'm gonna say Tua over Russ. Brent, in this one, I actually don't mind Russ as well, but I just think that Tua's got the Arizona matchup, and I think there's going to be the potential for them to score a lot of points. They're going to want to get their offense back on rhythm after a couple really lackluster games without Tua in the lineup. So I just think they're going to want to get their rhythm going and try and ring up the score if they can.
I don't like Russ in this game. I do like Lawrence. Why did we go away from that?
I thought we were done.
Wait,
Well, bring it back.
to that question.
Then we'll go back.
There was a lot. I'm going with Tua and Lawrence in this one. Okay.
Really? You put up
right,
that stink to go back for like 4 more seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needed a process.
Amber loves it. See,
she loves it.
That's
rebuilding in Dynasty. This is a redraft show, Amber. Why don't you watch our show on the Undroppables and Fantasy Football Plus, the Dynasty Pulse, and then we'll answer that.
Okay, she's rebuilding.
Oh,
I was offered Michael Wilson and a 25 second and a 27 third for Dobbs. I'm 1-6. You would do it, right?
smash.
yeah.
Yes. That's Dobbs.
Yeah.
Dobbs is worth the second alone, I would say.
Right.
So then you're getting Michael Wilson plus the third. Yeah, you're in there with swimwear. Let's go, Amber. Millie Mills, always around. Shout out Millie Mills.
Dominic Hammerquist. Oh.
All right, let's get Dominic's question up on the chat. Okay,
Yeah, it was
hey guys.
Demarcus Robinson night.
5-2. Should I trade AJ Brown for Jaden Reed and Hurts? My QB is Stroud. If I accepted that, my wide receiver would be Chase, Reed, Waddle, Deontay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I think that's a good trade.
Do that,
Yeah, I think that's a good trade. Yeah.
Hurts for AJ straight up is okay.
I mean, if this is this one quarterback, I'd assume that's one quarterback with the names being floated around there. So I'm still in on that with one quarterback leagues.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good name, by the way.
Yeah.
That's
All
like
right.
that feels like a real strong hockey name.
Dominic Hammerquist. It feels like a movie name.
Yeah. All right, we got
the
any
next
more
episode.
on the next
Dominic
episode?
Hammerquist.
No, that's all of them for now. But
Okay.
I'll throw them up if they get here.
Okay, so let's move on to another storyline here. And Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, the situation in Tampa looking a little bleak right now. We talk about this a lot this week leading up to this game. Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard, Trey Palmer. But I'm more worried about Baker Mayfield. The guy was a top 10 quarterback headed in to this, latter half of the season with those guys healthy. What are your guys' stance on Baker Mayfield moving on? Is he now just more of a streaming option, Schultzy, or is he a guy that you're still, loading up in confidence with that high flying offense that could be potentially up for a lot of points?
I don't know, man. It's hard. My gut wants to lean towards don't worry about it. I mean, I still think they're going to give up a decent amount of points, so he's going to have to throw, and he's going to get you fantasy points doing that. Playing catch up, which is it obviously still counts the same. But at the same time, he has developed such a connection with both of those dudes. There is just so much chemistry between the three of them. And I think it's going to be hard to get that going with the new guys. And so I think there is some concern there, but overall, I'm still riding with them.
Yeah. Okay. But is it more matchup dependent now? Because before it was more of like a set it, forget it kind of thing with Baker Mayfield. He was riding hot, top 3 quarterback headed into this week. It's a tough situation, but I'm still got a little bit of confidence. Biggs, what about you? What are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield?
I don't have any. No, Baker Mayfield is fine. He's fine. It's Baker Mayfield. It's the Tampa Bay offense. They're going to be fine. You sub out Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You stick in Trey Palmer, who was just fine last year in the games that he was showcased, and Jalen McMillan, who's my 2024 flag plant. I didn't make those mouth noises. I was just moving my mouth. I wasn't breathing. I wasn't breathing into the microphone. Baker Mayfield's going to be fine. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be fine. Jalen McMillan is going to be a smash for the rest of the season. And Trey Palmer is certainly serviceable. Cade Otton, of course. I have zero worry for Baker Mayfield moving forward, if that was the question.
All right. Albert, get in here, buddy. We want to answer your question.
Wait. Albert Mataquin is watching our show and asking questions? I don't believe it.
Albert, Tua, Geno, Baker, pick 2.
You know what, Albert? You pick 2.
I mean, ultimately, right. He will.
Yeah. Hey, hang on a second. Let's go with let's look at some matchups real quick. Tua, Geno. I gotta take Tua, and then we go Geno or Baker. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves.
I'm gonna go Tua and
Baker
Geno.
did last time that he played Atlanta.
I would say Tua and Geno was my first off the cuff reaction.
Yeah, I'm going to say Tua and Geno as well.
I'm sorry, you go. What did Baker do against Atlanta last time?
Just shut your mouth.
He had a monster game. I think he had 40 fantasy points with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
I'm going Tua and Baker.
And
it's the Florida boys.
You're just coming off stupid.
Florida boys.
I'm gonna go Tua and Geno with a tough matchup in Buffalo, but I think that's going to be a high scoring game. And I think the Atlanta Buccaneers game is going to be high scoring as well. So, but I'm worried about Baker, creating that connection early and often with those wide receivers.
You'll see. You'll all see.
Well, I mean, you think about, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the touchdowns he throws are like I said, that chemistry with Evans, and they're hitting them 20, 30 yards down the field pretty frequently. And Godwin's really good in the red zone. I think touchdown. I mean, maybe between the 20s, like it's going to come pretty easy still, but I feel like the touchdowns are going to be harder to come by through the air.
Well, I won't say anything then about Trey Palmer and his deep targets last year, or Jalen McMillan and the fact that Baker Mayfield touted his ability to catch the ball in traffic anywhere on the field with great hands during the training camps. I won't bring any of that up.
Yeah, I won't bring up how great JSN could be as a number one wide receiver behind Geno Smith in a really healthy matchup against a Buffalo Bills team, at home, which could be a very high scoring game as well. So we're both in a very similar situation. So let's agree on Tua and let Albert make his own pick.
Boom, I like it.
And with that said, Tua is going to be the lowest scoring of all three.
Probably, and it won't even matter because they're going to be 1 point apart, all three of them. Mahomes got dropped this week in our 10-team league. Not a fantasy quarterback. This was before D-Hop trade news got Mahomes off the wire. How about that?
Good job.
Good for you.
I can't believe, I don't know, like I have him in a redraft and I'm not dropping him. I might not start him every week, but it's freaking Patrick Mahomes, man. Like if anyone can turn a switch on and just start throwing 350 for 4 touchdowns, this is the dude. So like, no, you don't drop him. I can't believe people are doing that.
I don't believe Mahomes is not butter.
That too, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not dropping him, but I'm not starting him every week either. He's definitely not a top 12 quarterback week in, week out. He hasn't even shown that like consistently at all this year or the last 2 years, to be honest.
I have breaking news. I have breaking news out of the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins doesn't move anybody's needle. That's all.
DeAndre Hopkins doesn't even move his own needle anymore.
I mean, is your needle moved? My needle's just stationary at this point.
No needle movement at all.
It's still in that refractory period after those pictures of Schultzy's couch.
I don't know. I think he comes in and we'll get like...
Calm down, JD Vance.
He's gonna get 6 to 8 targets a game, and that's way better than he had in Tennessee. With Will Levis throwing the ball. So there's gonna be some, way better.
All right.
Schultzy just said. Schultzy just said.
Schultzy just said.
That's right.
He would not drop Patrick Mahomes in a redraft league, and neither would you, because you agreed with him, even in a 10-man. So who is he going to be throwing the ball to even like warrant that kind of upside? It's going to be DeAndre Hopkins, and Mahomes made Juju Smith-Schuster relevant for 1 game there. So I could see if DeAndre Hopkins can stay healthy, he's going to get automatic 6 to 8 targets a game. And they're going to be catchable balls, and he can catch a ball. So 6 for 70 every single game. Count me in for that.
What? Wow. Okay. If that's what he was going to do, then I would absolutely be on board with that. Let's see. I'm going to Sleeper real quick. I typed in Patrick Mahomes, and then I clicked on available in other leagues, availability in other leagues. So trade. Add in the kickoff return focused league. Trade. I want to direct everybody. Oh, whoa. Maybe keep that off the internet. There's a Twitter account, and the name is Slander Season, Slander, the word, and SZN. And he and I have been at the forefront of the argument. Yeah, Good luck with that. We've been at the forefront of the argument that Patrick Mahomes has not made anybody better. He's not elevated any wide receiver ever. And I stand by that. Who has he made better? Let's stay in the AFC West. Let's look at career years for former Derek Carr wide receivers when he was with the Raiders. Mac Hollins, career year. Michael Crabtree, career year. Zay Jones, career year.
Look
Amari
at who
Cooper,
they have
career
around.
year.
Nobody around those guys are
Other
even
than
relevant.
Tyreek Hill
Number one
and
targets.
Travis Kelce, who made Patrick Mahomes better. But when both of those guys are either not there or hurt, what has Patrick Mahomes done?
Win Super Bowls. That's what he
Win
does.
Super Bowls. That's not fantasy football.
Hey, you
take
talked
your
about
rings.
Zay Jones. He left.
Take your rings.
Zay Jones left the Raiders his career year with Derek Carr, and then he blew that year out of the water with Trevor Lawrence.
His best year to that point was with Derek Carr as his quarterback. The guy could not track a ball if he had binoculars.
No.
Mac Hollins, career. It's a laundry list of guys who had their careers bettered because they had a passer like Derek Carr. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Tua had better years for Tyreek Hill than Patrick Mahomes did. Travis Kelce hasn't had another quarterback. Other than that, nobody else. Juju, his best year was in Pittsburgh. Maybe Mecole Hardman, whatever. They're like Patrick Mahomes does not elevate the game of other players in fantasy.
Oh, in fantasy,
yes, he's got rings. Keep your rings. Those rings can stay in Kansas City's chiefdom, whatever. I'm talking about fantasy football. He doesn't make wide receivers fantasy relevant, and we've talked about it many times on many different shows.
There are fantasy relevant wide receivers in that offense. And
in best ball.
Well, I mean, last year, Rashee Rice, this year, Rashee Rice, and it's going to happen with DeAndre Hopkins in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I need to take a victory lap for a second because my boy Dominic does play hockey. Suck it.
There he goes.
Okay.
You tried to smash my vibe when I said that's a great hockey name, and I was right.
Oh no, that's fine.
Talking about hockey.
Okay, another guy is offering Scary Terry and Josh Allen for AJ, but next week. I just traded a huge package for Josh Allen.
Was it? Did it move any needles?
It moved my needle. I traded
Cool.
a huge package of like 6 draft picks, including a couple firsts, and Taysom Hill for Josh Allen and Khalil Mack in a dynasty league that I have an opportunity to win, and I love the Josh Allen side. Terry McLaurin, I would take that. Give up AJ Brown, get Scary Terry when Jaden Daniels is back, and you have QB at worst 3. I do that in a heartbeat. Go ahead, Dominic Hammerquist.
Yeah, hammer that down.
Skate to that one, and slap it in.
I just got to throw a little pet peeve out for the guy who's like, "Hey, I'll make this trade next week."
Yeah, F that guy.
Yeah, no, I'm not down for that. But take the trade next week.
F figuratively F.
All right, in a PPR league, I just traded Puka Nacua for Amon-Ra St. Brown. What are your thoughts? I think that's a great trade. I like Amon-Ra rest of the season.
I feel like you did that.
Great trade.
Yeah, solid trade there. I like it.
I like Amon-Ra.
Agreed, and I'm surprised someone was willing to take the guy coming off an injury for Amon-Ra. Like, I get fully healthy, I could have the debate with someone, but like having Nakua coming off of that injury, and I'm assuming this was before Nakua just showed out tonight, right? So it's like I'm surprised the other person's willing.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Well, on top of that, you have Puka coming out, and you saw absolutely tonight that Sean McVay is not stupid, and he knows that what he has in Puka Nakua. He knows what he has in Cooper Kupp. He knows what he has with both of those put together. If you watched our fantasy forecast show during the preseason, I said Puka Nakua had 30% fewer targets when Cooper Kupp was on the field. Yeah, Puka Nakua had an okay night tonight, but who got the 2 touchdowns? Demarcus Robinson. Now they have Demarcus Robinson in the mix, who slowly acclimated last year. Puka Nakua is not the guy. Who else is the guy in Detroit? It's Amon-Ra St. Brown, period. It's a good trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe they might have been the Puka owner or the person that wanted Puka might have been anticipating a Cooper Kupp trade. I don't think that's in the cards at this stage of the game.
Not tonight.
After the Rams winning that game, because like I said, that they're in the heart of that divisional race now with the 49ers being as banged up as they are and the Seahawks playing, up and down ball and the Cardinals out of it. So
and the Kansas City refs right there with the LA Rams, hoping that they get to the Super Bowl against Kansas City.
That would be a perfect
Super
Bowl.
What do you do? Blow it all up.
Then we three-peat. And it's all the same.
You're going to three-peat anyway. Stop it.
DeAndre Hopkins gets his bag. He gets his bag of catches, 7 to 8 targets a game, 80 yards.
He hardly puts in the effort. He had that like knee cleanup surgery, like missed training camp preseason. He just shows up, gets a ring. Grindberg, great point though about Nakua, and like maybe the other guy's angle was like, hey, if Kupp gets traded, like pedal to the metal on Nakua and he wanted to jump on it early. And if he's still sitting on that offer, you need to jump on it back early.
Well, and that's the thing, right? So it's probably a preemptive kind of thing. And especially if this is a redraft league, you're kind of like looking for the monster upside, especially if you're like a team on the cusp of making a move here. And you're especially in the way the league has been with how many injuries there were, the way the buys is set up. There's a lot of teams that are probably, very even strengths, 3-4, 5-3, a lot of teams like that right now.
Yeah. Like the Raiders.
Yes. The Raiders. Right.
No. Sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Like the San Jose Sharks with the Rookie of the Year.
Exactly. All of the above is all of these things that we should be looking at. Now, where can we go? Where is there a place where community is at the forefront and where you can just hang out every day, get your questions answered by leading experts in the industry? Schultzy, where is that place?
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
And if you want a link to Fantasy Sports Advice Network, just scan that QR code. It'll take you to my dot cards account. And just scan the QR code dot cards at /BigBoned FFB. And it'll take you straight there, and it'll give you a Fantasy Sports Advice Network link. You can go to there, start your account. Also, it'll give you a link to all of our other shows on the Undroppables, Player Profiler News, etc. So do that.
Do it and do it well. So, Biggs, what happens on Sunday morning? Right around 10
Keegan Murray. Let's go. Light the beam. What?
No idea what you just said and what you're referring to, but
I said
I'm asking you.
basketball.
Light
I'm
the
asking-
beam.
Okay.
It's the Sacramento Kings 2024 debut against the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards, and it's against former King DiVincenzo. This like the Timberwolves are legit, and one of our nemesis, Keegan, just hit a corner three. We're up by 8 with 4:28 left to go in the third quarter. I was wearing my Kings hat earlier before I switched it out for my let's go. I need 10 more points from Anthony Edwards. I just got on Underdog. I hit my 3 Kings plays. I hit De'Aaron Fox, I hit Keegan Murray, and I hit DeMar DeRozan. All I need now is 10 points from Anthony Edwards on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I hit my 4-way parlay on Underdog, baby.
Sounds like Big should be doing some fantasy basketball content for the Fantasy Sports Advice Network.
I did. I said light the beam over there on the FSAN basketball page.
Perfect. Well, it's important that you do that. That's a great stuff. All right, folks. Looks like that is it for the chat tonight. And
No,
we
we still have 16:07 left in this Kings game. I'm not going anywhere.
Biggs is gonna sit here and answer starting thick questions while the Kings are about 45 minutes out from their first victory of the year.
Y'all can
And
go to sleep.
Oh, I'm going to bed.
I'll just sit here like this. Hey guys, all right. Let's talk about this game.
no, I'm here. Let me in on this.
Get back in here, Schultzy.
Schultzy,
We're not done with you yet.
There we go.
Is that it?
All right.
No more questions. All
No,
right.
we're good for the night.
Hey, don't forget to watch me on Sunday morning.
That's what I was referring to. Yeah, breakfast is big Sunday morning on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. You're going to get half an hour of his insights on start and sits. Remember to, follow us on the YouTube, on the Twitter, on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. The PAT will be back next week once again for our start and sit show. And Biggs, take us home, buddy.
Well, I just wanted to say it's not like my gut feeling. It's not. I have charts. I have data. I have graphs and stuff. That's what I tell you. When you say, do I start DeAndre Hopkins or Malik Neighbors? I tell you the data. It's not like who I like better. Then I would only say Malik Neighbors. But if the data says that it's DeAndre Hopkins, I'll tell you DeAndre Hopkins. I have all of it, and it's at my fingertips, which means that it's at your fingertips. Breakfast with Big. Make some clips, some pampeldu. Especially if you make some stuffed pampeldu. Make pampeldu and stuff it with apricot jam and brie. You can do chicken and waffles. You can do like pancake stacks. You can do omelets. You can do lots of stuff. Just a bowl of cereal, a cup of coffee, which is what I have for breakfast. There's lots of breakfast options that you can have. You know what you can have for breakfast? Steak and eggs. Make yourself a steak in a cast iron skillet. Throw a couple of eggs and make them over easy.
Wow, so that's what steak and eggs is, huh?
Yeah, or do some steel cut oats with a little bit of honey or maple syrup, or from Vermont or New Hampshire specifically. Some raisins, pat of butter. Fantastic. There are lots of breakfast options that you can have. Order Carl's Jr. breakfast biscuit sandwiches if you want. We can sit here for the next minutes and I can go over breakfast food options. To meet me at Breakfast with Biggs, 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. I will give you my starts or sits data, and we'll have a good time. I got lots of coffee.
And also, Tune in Saturday mornings to the Fantasy Football Funhouse with my boy Mason, who's going to lead the way this weekend. He's got a good show planned. It's going to air 8 a.m. Central Time Saturday morning, and
Mason and I mind melded on on a start this week. Also, the best breakfast to have with the Fantasy Funhouse would be the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity from IHOP. If that's in your area, go ahead and Uber Eats it or DoorDash it. The other thing you can do is go to Black Bear Diner. Make sure that you get the Belgian waffles. Their biscuits and gravy is really, really good. You can do Denny's if you want to go the Grand Slam breakfast. You might
use
go
Uber
with the
Eats
McDonald's
code bigz for 50% off your Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. We hope you win.